Hey gang, Ross Brand here for LivestreamUniverse.com. This is Livestream News. We're going to be talking about scheduled versus unscheduled live streams, and Dr. Aikyna Finch will be joining me in just a moment. And so, as part of exploring this issue, we actually didn't schedule this live stream, and instead we're going about testing it out. How does it work? How will we do? Will we get a lot of views? Will we not get so many views in comparison to the shows that I typically host? And we're going live just around the same time as I would normally go live for my scheduled shows. So that won't be a factor, time of day and what have you. And let me just tell you real quick, Thursday night, I am doing a scheduled show. We're doing an episode of Ask the Expert. Michael Lucy will be joining me to talk all about Facebook ads. So bring your questions, 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursday night, rossbrand.live on the Livestream Universe Facebook page. Again, that'll be Michael Lucy on Ask the Expert Thursday night, talking all about Facebook ads. Bring your questions, as well as how to use Facebook ads in combination with live streaming on Facebook Live. Hey, Brad Friedman's here. Welcome. And let me bring in the good doctor. Dr. Finch is joining us. Hey, Dr. Finch, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. Dr. Finch, for those who may not know, and it seems like everybody in the live streaming area knows, Dr. Finch is a podcaster, social media coach, and speaker. She's a Forbes Coaches Council member, easy for me to say, and coaches in the areas of empowerment, life, and social media from her company Finch and Associates LLC. She's the co-host of the Motivate Social podcast and an avid live streamer. Aikyna is also the founder of the Scope Mastermind group on Facebook, where she helps new live streamers get used to the platform through the vehicle of Pass the Cast. She's also coaching and training individuals and groups on social media. She can be found Dr. A.D. Finch on all social media platforms. Her website is AikynnaFinch.com. And Dr. Finch is also the co-author of 6 books, and she recently launched a solo project called Motivation Ignited. In fact, it's not so recent anymore. The book came out in November of 2016. And let's start there before we get into all the live streaming stuff. Tell us about the latest book, Motivation Ignited.
Oh my goodness. It's Motivation Ignited, 10 ways to set your self-motivation on fire. A lot of times we'll fall into a rut, or we'll get so used to our routine that we forget about all the passions and purpose that's in our life. And so with that being said, these 10 steps will help you get that passion back on track and back on fire. So, we love that, right? We have to love that. So we take it all the way from mindset all the way to the reward. But as you know, you got to start with your mindset, go through the path to get to your reward. And it's a short read, and you can definitely get a lot of meat out of it, as well as it's a journal as well. So as you're growing with it, you can write down your thoughts, and it will really help you with your patterns. So
Awesome.
check it out.
Yeah, you can actually find the book on Livestream Deals, livestreamdeals.com. Click the books tab at the top of the page and scroll down. You'll see Dr. Finch's book, and check it out, Motivation Ignited. Tell us real quick about some of the other books you've collaborated on.
I just recently collaborated on a book with my podcasting co-host, Vanessa Canterbury, and it's called I Am More Than. And that is a journal to help you write out different things. A lot of people fall into stereotypes. I'm more than my children. I'm more than my W-2. I am more than my title. I am more than what society says about me. And as we are going through these changes, we're writing it down, and we realize that, hey, I'm more than that. know me for me and not what you perceive me to be. And this journal will help you take that through. So yeah, you can definitely check that one out. Yes. A lot of people don't think about that, but it's pretty powerful.
And is that available now, or?
Yes. You could go to my page on Amazon, Aikyna Finch, Dr. Aikyna Finch on Amazon, and you can pick up any of the books. And we've been through a lot of different changes. We're getting ready to come out with a new collaboration called Negotiating Your Greatness. It was 20 women on there and one man. And it's about different ways you can negotiate your greatness through your brand. So that is compiled by Sade Wayadu. And so that'll be out in October. And you need to get this. If you've been thinking about your brand, this is on point.
And she's a big live streamer as well. So
yes, she is. Yes,
you guys are going to probably be doing some shows together, right? Well, I have to plan to have you both on together for either for Livestream Stars or Livestream Deals and talk all about the book and get in deeper into the topic. But let's turn to tonight's topic. And really the reason I wanted to have you on is because you've been doing a lot of what you call pop-up live streams that aren't scheduled, but ones that you just decide. You may know when you're going live, but the audience doesn't know when you're going live. And that's kind of the point of it. What made you decide to start testing out the idea of not scheduling your live streams? And, we're not talking about going live spontaneously because news breaks. We're talking about a specific strategy of, I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to be live, essentially, to break it down to its most basic, right? What made you decide to try this?
Well, there's two different types of live streamers, and you know this. You have your right now scoper, and you have your plan scoper, right? And with that being said, you have the ones that at 10 o'clock every day, I'm going to show up and I'm going to give you a word. Whereas you have the right now scoper like myself, I cannot tell you at 10 o'clock that I'm going to be there to give you a word. I have nothing for you. I pop in when I have something for you, right? And so with that strategy, I've noticed that, they were like, okay, you're going to come on at 10. That means that there's going to be a replay after, and then I can go on there and catch that replay. So I don't necessarily have to be there on your live, because I already know what you're talking about. You gave me a wonderful description. You told me all this stuff you're going to be talking about. So why do I have to show up at 10 when I can show up at 5 o'clock and be eating and doing whatever I need to do and still getting that good knowledge?
Right.
Okay. Whereas if you do a pop-up and you don't schedule it, and then you put an enticing topic on that thing, and then you say, hey, I'm going live. Come over here and see what I'm going to get. You wasn't expecting it. Oh, my goodness, what's this about? Yes, I'm the live stream queen of Nashville. Thank you, Aaron. I have to do this right now. Thank you, Aaron, so much from our comments. He was so generous enough to make me one of those new TriCasters. The ones that do the 3 that he just started selling. He made me a custom one. So mine can stand on the desk, and it can also stand on a tripod with me just turning 2 knobs. How cool is that?
That's
so I
awesome.
have to thank Aaron for that, because he is awesome. And thank you, everyone, for helping me become an A-list member. And
congratulations.
So if y'all need one of those tripods, y'all need to get with Aaron, because Aaron is the truth. Okay.
Welcome, Terry. Let me just say a quick welcome to Terry Johnson. Aaron Roth, as you mentioned, is here. Brad Friedman. Some other folks. I know a lot more folks are here than have thrown something in the comments. Give us a like, throw something in the comments, share it out so we know you're here, and let other people know this is a spontaneous, well, not really spontaneous. We planned this, but it was an unscheduled. I'll get the terminology eventually. It was an unscheduled, or like Dr. Finch likes to say, a pop-up live stream. Doesn't mean that we weren't planning this for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, but here we are to see how it turns out. And so far, I don't know whether it's Dr. Finch's popularity or it is that aspect of what's going on here. I didn't expect this. I better check it out so I don't miss it, right?
See? I told you. It's all about the strategy. See, now, Ross, I bring you this good stuff right here. Well, hello, Miss Ira. I bring you good stuff because, see, they come to you for the news, right? So why not do this wonderful presentation with you, Ross Brand? Come on now. Why not?
Right.
So now, when we're working through this, right? So let's say, yes, you're right. We planned in advance, but we did not tell our audience when we're coming in. That means that we are opening it up for, the suspense factor. Mm-hmm. We're opening it up for the, ooh, what's she talking about? Ooh, what's he talking about? Let's do this. Let me see what she's going over there talking about. And then the shares come in. Share this out. If y'all like this concept, share it out, because a lot of people need to know that this is possible. Now, you can do this on Be Live, like what we're doing here. And you can also do it right there on your phone using the new feature that we have on Facebook Live.
Right. Talk about that new feature, because
mobile to mobile.
I haven't used that yet. Talk about how that new feature is and how it's different, because the first time it didn't go too well that Facebook tried the two people on at once. If both people are on from mobile now, you can both be on at the same time.
Yes. And so I tried this out in an event to see how this would work. I actually attached put it on a projector, use my dongle and put it on the projector just to make sure that this would work. So it is mobile to mobile. And what happens is I come on the screen. Now, you can either do it portrait or landscape. The best way, if you're going to interview somebody and give everybody equal space, like what you see on the screen right now would Be Live, is to do it landscape. People do it portrait and they get all this bigness of me and this little Ross Brand.
Hell, you can't have that.
Yeah. If you're sitting up there interviewing somebody with some prestige, you got an audience, they're going to feel some kind of way about being little bitty.
Right.
So we start out landscape, okay? We start out landscape. And then when we invite somebody in, the people will come in. If they are mobile, they'll have an invite button by their name. Mm-hmm. And they will not be able to come in until they turn their phone landscape as well. And as soon as they turn their phone landscape, it'll say connecting, and then you'll both have y'all equal space.
So if you start out landscape, then they can't come in unless they're landscape. Right. And most people think, because they see the side by side like we have right now on Be Live, and they think, oh, you must get that from landscape. You must get that from portrait, right? It looks portrait, but it's not. I mean, you want to be in a landscape picture so that you get not so up in your face, right? When you you don't get that stretch thing, and then the other person's down in the corner. Thank you, Brad. Brad Friedman says the mayor and the doctor. What a combination! You two are on fire. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
So, wow, we got 13 people watching at the same time right now. Please do share it out. Let some other folks know that we're here.
Please.
And we'd also love to take your questions and hear your experiences. If you've tested out unscheduled versus scheduled live streams, what have you found out? What do you think? What's your opinion from your experiences as to which is the better way to go, or should you have a combination of the two? Now, do you do any scheduled live streams?
Yes, I do. I do schedule live streams on Periscope every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central with
Hmm.
my Scope Mastermind group.
Right.
So that group was built because people were having so much problems pushing the live stream button. They had such a strong message, but they were murdered or they've been hurt in the past or what have you, and they just didn't feel comfortable. And so I invite them to my group and we do a pass to cast. They get 5 minutes to talk about whatever. They know they'll never be alone. We'll constantly be talking to them. They'll get a topic so they get to practice it. And then they come in, they talk about it. And then I'll give them the cue. The next person is up. And then the next person will go live and then we'll all go over to that. So they just follow the train.
Right.
That way you get the feeling of how to do it. You also make sure that you are building an audience because everybody has to follow you in order to come over. And then you also start building an audience of your peers or what have you. And you start having a repertoire of live streams that you can show and repurpose.
Wow. So I just put a guest link into the comments. I can show it. I can show it here. If you have a question for Dr. Finch, or even for me, please do jump into the, you can just click the link that you see up there on the screen. It's the pinned comment. It's at the top of the comments. Click that. It'll bring you into the lobby if you haven't used Be Live before. And then we can see you and I can bring you up into the live broadcast. You can ask the question. It'll give you a countdown so you'll know. Believe it gives you a countdown. I hope it gives you a countdown. But either way, it will tell you when you're live. So, hey, Fernando, thanks so much for joining us. So, when you compare the reaction that you get from viewers and how the chat goes and the questions and things like that, what are you finding is different on Facebook Live when you go do a pop-up versus a scheduled live stream?
I have noticed that I get more views in the live than, oh, yes, there's a countdown. Cool.
Thank you.
I was wondering too. I noticed that I get more views on the live stream than I would if I schedule. Because, usually when you schedule, like I said, you give them this description, you tell them to come on through, that, and then I'm going to be here. And then but of course, they also know there's going to be a replay. Unless you put hashtag no replay. That's the new thing. They know that there's going to be a replay. So come on, right?
Yeah, but I want those replay views, right?
Right.
Replay gets more views than the live oftentimes. So
yeah, true. And but still, but with this, they're like, they coming out here. What is this in? Let me see what's going on with this, right? So then they pop in. A few people are on the screen now. They come into my pop-ups. They start calling them the popping preachers now. But there's a story behind that. But they know that when something comes up, they're like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be fire. They're getting ready to talk about something. Because myself as well as my co-host, we are known for dropping the mic and then leaving it dropped. You understand? so they want to know what mic we dropping today, right? And just like with you, right? We know that when you come on, that you're getting ready to drop some knowledge. You're getting ready to drop some information for us. You're getting ready to school us in the live stream world, And same thing with your new show that you're coming out with on Be Live.
Right.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And, they know this. So when you pop on, they are all about, what we getting ready to learn, who we're getting ready to talk about, who is getting ready to be on the set.
Right.
So that is the intrigue that you're building. And I think that you would do very well with that, Ross.
So just go live without scheduling it, without doing all this promotion stuff that takes time and effort and stress, and just go live.
Yeah. Eliminate all that good stuff.
Right.
And just go live. And then right? What happened? People are like, oh my God, this was like the best thing since sliced bread. Let me share this out.
Right,
Share this out. And before we know it, because, when you sit on there, you see like 5, 10, 13, 20, whatever. You see those little numbers. And then when you get on there, you get off of there, those 20 done turned to 600, 300, 600,
right.
800. You're like, oh, snap, know, because people are sharing in beneath, and so I think that it builds. It's just a different thing. It's kind of like it just sparks, and then it opens it up to other people because you're giving information that they want right away. Like, let's say, we found out about products, right? So that means that what would have happened? You came on here and did a live stream right after that. How many people would have jumped on that company? I'm just saying.
Right. More than a few. I want to say a quick welcome to Azania Noah is joining us. She was the recent guest on Livestream Stars, also a fantastic singer and actor.
Yes.
So thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you. And thanks to everybody for joining us. This is a lot of fun. This is a rare pop-up that I'm doing, thanks to the good advice of Dr. Finch. And boy, a lot of people are coming in. And again, I don't know whether this is your popularity or this is the magic of the pop-up, but it's really great. I normally would have scheduled a month in advance and, spent the day messaging people and all sorts of stuff. And here we got a very, very active chat, and we've got people showing up and sharing it and everything else. So, wow, you've definitely opened my eyes to something. Now, when you do pop-ups, are you more likely to do an interview? Are you more likely to go solo or just grab something? Like, what's your balance of how do you go solo? Do you go live? When you go live, okay, shut up, Ross, and ask the question, for God's sakes. Do you go live solo, or do you go live with a co-host or do an interview? That's what I was trying to ask. Now I think I got it out.
Okay. I actually do both. I go solo because I don't know if many of the people on this broadcast know, I have been challenged by my mother to do a Go Glam for a Year challenge. And so on those, I do pop-ups about different milestones that I've made on this way for this challenge. And so I'll go solo for those. And then with the other ones, I will go with a co-host. Her name is Vanessa Canterbury. She's the co-host of our podcast together, Motivate Social Podcast, which we hope to have you on there shortly.
Oh, I'd love to.
Later, how we do it.
And I love the on-air ask, because it's much harder to say no. That's a very good strategy.
That's
one of my favorites.
No shame in my game. None. And then so we'll sit up there and we'll talk about whatever topic comes up with that. And it's really enticing, and I noticed that more of the guests on, when you have two different people and, you smash the two audiences together, and it is fun, and you get more shares that way. And then, of course, when I go solo, they're not too shabby either,
Not bad either.
Not bad.
And a lot of times, when I do what you call pop-up live stream, it's usually solo, and because when I have a guest, I feel like I want to promote the guest. Mm-hmm. But maybe I have to explain to some of my guests, because they now expect that, like, when you come on one of my shows, you're going to get this whole big promotion thing. Maybe I have to explain to them that, like, more people will watch if we don't promote it. If you're like, oh, look, Ross is on with Dr. Finch, I got to tune in. Where in the past, I would have spent the whole day, like, tweeting to everybody I know, Dr. Finch is coming on at 7 o'clock, And yet people find you, and they got the notifications on, and they see when you go live and all that stuff. I'm trying to do a lot more solo broadcasts than I've done in the past. I did my updates solo, but those were usually recorded, and then towards the end I did them live. But longer form solo stuff, because I'm finding that I really like that where you feel like you're just talking to the audience directly,
exactly.
right?
And you're good at it.
You're just connecting, and I think that's great to do pop-up too, solo, because it's sort of like, what's he talking about today? Is it going to be good? Is it not? Like, if you already say what you're going to talk about, then it takes away that surprise as, is he talking about something I'm interested in? I got to tune in. And, you know, people say, okay, I can catch the replay, but how many times do we really go back and catch a replay of a live stream? We do, but not as much as we'd like to think, right? I mean, a lot of those replay views are somebody scrolling up and their thumb gets stuck or whatever, and they get a 3-second view out of it. I mean, come on, there's nothing more depressing. I'm so honest about this. There's nothing more depressing than, like, you have like 1,000-something views on a live stream, and then you look and you see, like, okay, and 400 were 10-second views. Yeah, it's like, oh, and how many turn the volume on, right? Like, you got to be realistic about Facebook numbers, right?
Right, exactly.
So, what do you find is different about going live on Facebook versus Periscope, besides the trolls that are out everywhere on Periscope?
Well, let us not proceed. I remember the first time I saw a troll, I got a troll. Oh, that's not a story I need to tell. But you know, the good thing about it is that first off, the comments stay, so you can go and check somebody. You know, right. On Periscope, they like, who? Unless you gonna sit up there and roll down, you know, and go through that whole thing and read that, you know, write that down. I'm gonna go find you. You know, it's not even that critical, right?
Right.
So, you know, with that being said, you know, you eliminate a lot of that. Then also, you know, I've noticed that people will come over to after they see you on Periscope, they'll come over to Facebook and really connect with you. So the audience who really is about you are usually on your Facebook page or your Facebook profile. And so that's when those views boost like crazy. And it is amazing now with the algorithm. Once a few people start popping in there and sharing, then all of a sudden they open it up to the atmosphere and everybody comes in. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you know?
Right.
And so I like that aspect. I mean, Periscope does that too, you know, because they'll say you got a featured post, you know, or what have you. But it takes so long for you to get featured. You know, it takes so long for it to kick in, right. You know, the VIP kick in before everybody floods in, you know, that it's like, hey, versus this, you know, you get a couple of 2 or 3 shares at the beginning, you game buster.
Right. No, that's awesome. Now you've got your new custom-made TriCaster from Aaron and the good folks at Archon Mounts. Does that mean you're going to go to YouTube as well, or what is going to be your third place to stream to?
Yes. So I have been debating if it's going to be Instagram Live or YouTube Live. I do have the capability on my phone now that I have my 100 subscribers.
Right.
That I can go live on my phone from the app. So that makes it even more easier now to go up on YouTube Live. I've been doing pop-ups on YouTube Live too now, bro. You know, so I don't have to go in there and plug everything in on the computer and drag it around. Now I can do it from my trusty phone. So yeah, YouTube might be the way to go, you know. However, between YouTube sometimes and Instagram Live sometimes.
Do you find you get much engagement on YouTube when you do a pop-up?
Yeah, you know, if I, now that they have the share button, so I can, right before I go live, I can share it on Twitter and on Facebook, and then they'll come over.
Right. Yeah, YouTube's interesting. It's kind of worth spending some time over there, I think.
Yeah,
People forget about it and don't think of it in terms of live and whatever, but can't hurt to build a channel over there. And I gotta say that was a tough one trying to get followers. I would have I had an easier time getting people to buy tickets to an event from my streams than getting them to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I tried to make it easy. You can go to rossbrand.tv if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also just go to youtube.com/livestreamuniverse. Very easy, and feel free to give out your YouTube channel. Maybe we pick up a couple of subscriptions.
Please help a sister out. She's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 views. You know, those are the two benchmarks now. So I'm trying to get to a benchmark. But my YouTube channel is, of course, Dr. A.D. Finch. So Dr. A.D. Finch. You can just put me in there. And basically, I was having the same problem as you. You know, hey, if I'm Dr. A.D. Finch everywhere, right? Come on over there to the YouTube channel. Come over and subscribe. Guess what helped me, though? You are going to laugh when I tell you this story. I lost my mind. So the first thing I did what I saw a post from our good friend Chocolate Johnny.
Okay.
And he posted, he said, I need X amount of more people to follow my stream so that I can go live on YouTube, on the app.
Right.
I said, well, people, and I only needed 30 or so people. I said, I'm going to do it too. 5 hours later, I had the number that I needed and then some. I said, okay. And then the next one that flipped my lid, right? You know, they have the branding now on there. So you can you can put your little avatar on the side of your little logo and click on it, and it'll let you hit the subscribe button from anywhere you're watching the video. You brand your videos, right, bro?
I have this little logo that you see on Be Live TV. I have that on, but I don't know whether people can subscribe through that or not.
Okay, so
is that an extra step? I got to turn that on. It's not just that you put your logo there, right?
Right. You go over to the side on the piece, and you'll go to the branding tab, and it'll say put it in either custom time or throughout the whole video. I recommend throughout the whole video. And then they'll click on and they'll see it over in the corner, and you just click on that, and it says subscribe. Well, I built a class, right? And I put on a video where I was talking, because I do a lot of live stream tool demos.
Right.
For some odd reason, people like my presentation. So they watch this video. And so I was telling them about my archive mounts and my anchor batteries and this, that, and the other thing. And it had the logo on the side of it, and it was part of this class. Totally forgot that the branding was there in the class, right? All of a sudden, I noticed my numbers are going up. And I look over there to see and then I have it set to get emails when somebody subscribes to my channel. And I matched the emails up, and they're the people from the class I just built.
Wow.
And I said, they're following me, my YouTube channel, right from the videos in the class. I said, shut the front door. So I said, okay. I said, I'm loving this, right? So what did I do? I took those same videos and took them to LinkedIn. Yes, sir, I did. And I started posting my the videos, because, you know, now if you put them in your profile, they click on the video, it'll actually play for them, you know, as an attachment in your profiles now. Right. And so the little icon shows up, and people subscribe to the YouTube channel right there on my LinkedIn page too. So
you put it as like part of your portfolio right on your profile. And do you also post your videos to YouTube and like their version of the news feed?
Yeah, please help. Okay, let's talk about that. She's a little bit out of shape about this situation. LinkedIn, hear me. You know what? Now you know they have live streaming. I have an Apple. I have not been given the privileges yet to go live. You know, I have stuff to talk about on LinkedIn, but they won't let me go.
I didn't know they actually have live. I didn't even know they have live.
Yes,
I know you can
live.
upload. I know you can upload.
You can at first you can upload. You can upload it to your profile.
You have to be famous to get live, right?
Live now.
You have to be like famous or an influence. Like you have to be one of their top people or something, or
no, because a lot of people with Android can do it, but but of course they're connected to Microsoft and stuff, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But like a lot of the Apple people have been kind of getting gypped to the game here, I guess, because they tired of us always getting our stuff first. They decided to give it to Android first, which is uncool because I need my live streaming abilities.
Right.
So now you can actually live stream and do these things now, which is fantastic. On the computer, upload it on the computer, or you can live stream it on the phone. And so I'm like, awesome. And so, but with the YouTube, right now I'm just putting the links in there until I get that capability. And then of course the branding is right there and you can do it that way.
So you do have the upload capability.
I can at least put it out there. Like I can upload it to my profile and I can put a link on my feed page, but I can't actually upload the actual video into that.
Oh, okay. So I don't have it. I don't think I have it from the desktop, but I have it from mobile where I could upload something. I can't go live, but I could upload something. But obviously I'm not going to be able to store like some big show or something on my phone, right? So you got to be able to do that from the desktop. But it's probably just as smart to like embed the YouTube, just put the YouTube link there, and then people can watch that right there, and then, like you said, they can click and go into your channel and subscribe right from the logo. I guess they have to know how that works, or you put it into the message, right? Or you put a link in the first comment or whatever. But that might be just as good a way. What we have to do is figure out with the algorithm eventually, right? How much does LinkedIn favor you if you put your own video on? Like you take the video that you would upload to YouTube and you upload it to LinkedIn versus putting a link to the LinkedIn, a link to the YouTube. Well, I'm died today, but put a link to the YouTube, and then they, like Facebook, if you put a link to a YouTube video, you might as well have just hid it in the closet, right? Because it's, they're not gonna prioritize that. Whereas if you take that same video and you upload it to Facebook, while you might not get quite the bump of going live, they're still going to be really happy that you chose Facebook to be your platform to store that video and share it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm so excited with all the new things. I mean, when Snapchat opened up the live feature, I was done. I said, well, let's just do this then, I said, this is just the future then, it's a wrap. So,
right.
So like I said, but I mean, this is just proving that this is the way to go, people. Live stream is the future. We need to know what's going on with you. Live and in living color.
Right.
If you don't like the live thing, automatically that's what the stories are for. The Snapchats, the Instagram stories, the Messenger day. So that way you still get that live, you still get to tell your stories, but you don't have to be like dead smack in the camera.
Right. I think stories is great too. Like if you're in an event or you have something that's like going on during the day and you really don't want to go live, or you can't go live, or it's not, but to be able to like just snap pictures along the way and share a little snippet of what's going on or whatever, that's kind of cool at the end of the day. And you've really been able to kind of share what you're going through with people who can't be there. But there's still nothing like live streaming, right? I mean, like if you can go on live and talk about your experience, that's better than any story you'll ever be. In my
Exactly. I love it, Ross.
Now, what do you use Facebook's native app when you go live on Facebook? Do you use any of the platforms as well, like Be Live or any of the others? Like I know Webinar Jam just redid their whole thing, and now there's all these new apps. I don't know if you know Coach Jenny, but she's been trying like one after the next after the next. Are you familiar with any of the new apps, or have you tried any of the new ones?
So, of course, we love Be Live, of course.
Right. Of
and
course.
then, of course, Jeans, done that. I know that a lot of people are talking about I'm looking forward. Kim, I appreciate you. And yes, and a lot of people are going to that. I'm dying over these comments. This is everything.
Android's not allowed to get something first. I had an Android for a long time, and I'm on my first iPhone, and now there's like some advantage to having Android after all these years. It's really not fair.
I know. How in the world, right? How in the world?
But once Apple's got you locked into their system where you're getting everything connected, you're trapped. I can't escape.
You are. I mean, I am Team Apple. I'm sitting here with this Mac, with my Apple Watch, with my iPhone, with my 2 iPads. I mean, come on, And I was watching that video saying, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I was like, yes. Oh, yes. Zoom. Yes. That one right there. That my friend, I have a friend, Neala Phillip, who is a mega beast on webinars. Y'all should check her out. And has an awesome conversion rate. And she went from Webinar Jam to the Zoom. And she said that, it was just easier as far as the conversion. And she made it fit the way she needed to fit, just like Webinar Jam. She got an app called Chat Tango, so that they could do so you could do the chatting and everything, just like the Webinar Jam piece. And then she got a little app to do the clocks. And then, of course, now with the $40, you can do the live stream to put, your live stream this event on Facebook Live. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry.
That's all right. If you have a fire there, this can...
Yeah. They decided to test my fire.
They're just testing it. Okay.
Oh, dark 30.
Because if it's a real emergency, you can go, and I'll just carry on for a few minutes until you get outside and can pull out your iPhone, and we continue the conversation.
Yeah. Hold on. They're deciding to do this right now. This is great. But and then yes, Crowdcast does live streaming as well. So a lot of people are going to the Zoom for the live streaming aspect. And I love the nice, sleek black platform. It's very pretty, all of that. But, it's just easier now because we are in that live stream interface. Why not use what we're doing the live stream? So, of course, Webinar Jam got hip to the game. They were tired of and they added their live stream components in there,
Yeah. So Kim Doyle says, yeah, we need Dr. Finch back again. So run if the place is on fire. Kim, I'm curious what maybe you liked or didn't like about Webinar Jam, because they've done a whole revamp of the whole system, and it's one price, and it's supposedly got everything you need, your one-stop place for webinar and live streaming and all that, and the announcements are going to come soon.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'll move.
So while Kim, in fact, if you would like to jump in while we're waiting for Dr. Finch to come back in, I'd love to get your thoughts on Webinar Jam. The link to join us, I don't know if it's a good time, but the link to join us, if you'd like to do that, is here's Dr. Finch on a mobile. She'll be in just a second. There you go.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
So this is the fire drill live streaming test. Not only the fire people have to be ready to put out the fire, but live streamers have to be ready to get that cell phone, get outside, and get right back to streaming because the show must go on.
This is such a mess. I'm so sorry, bro.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Kim says that it's actually a great platform about Webinar Jam, but she wants to integrate with ClickFunnels. It would be good if I shared that comment while I was saying it. And then she's not, I guess, a fan of the registration pages.
Oh, yeah. That makes perfect
sense.
She
says we can try. My webcam wasn't working in an earlier Skype call. Okay, if you want to give it a shot. Otherwise, we can just continue communicating through the comments. But it's really interesting. The new Webinar Jam doesn't integrate with ClickFunnels yet, so I embedded the button on the page. But there were some style issues, and it's a boring platform basically. And Brad Friedman said, I told you, you two are on fire. Yeah, this broadcast was so hot, we set the alarm off. That's
right. This was classic. I love it.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's so many different platforms out there that it's almost like an overwhelming number of choices, right? And I'm guessing, so if Zoom has webinar capability, do they have like registration and all that, or you use something else? Like Kim's using ClickFunnels. I wonder what you would use. I haven't done webinars, but it's something that interests me for doing, because it's great to get people to sign up. And we talk about the value of scheduled. One great thing about webinar is you're super scheduling it, right? You're going to set up your registration and get emails and send reminders. And it's like, this is the event.
Right. You know, honestly, they do have one. They have one, a registration page, but it's kind of boring, like what she was talking about as well. But, so that's why most people build landing pages, you know, and does the ClickFunnels and stuff like that. But they do actually have their own little page.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you also, you're got a pretty big following on Twitter. You do social media coaching. What are some of the main issues that people are having with social media these days that they come to you with? Besides people talking about live streaming, what else is kind of on the table these days?
Engagement, a lot of engagement, and a lot of engagement, and of course a lot of traction. So they want to build their audience.
Right,
you know, right. A lot of people, you know, they have great audiences, but they don't have a lot of engagement, or then they have a lot of engagement and have little audiences. So they usually want the either or, you know.
They want both.
Yeah.
It's not as easy anymore on a platform like Twitter. A lot of stuff is automated. A lot of the real conversation takes place in Twitter chats, or it takes place around certain topics or news events or whatever, but the conversation isn't like it used to be there. And I think, you know, we all feel like we have to have a presence on Twitter, but what is the return that a lot of people are getting? And I'm not sure it's that great, even with big numbers these days. I don't know how you're finding Twitter, but it's great. It's been great for me to get people to shows and things like that. But as far as like click-throughs and stuff to websites and read blogs and things like that, not so much.
You know, I've noticed that it's more optimized for like a Periscope.
Right.
Most people are getting into the live video aspect of it. They love the fact that video will come on there and they can just watch it right there on their little phone, you know? And that's what people are now programmed to. They know that, okay, if I share it out on Periscope, that means it's going to automatically go to Twitter. If I go live on Twitter, what happens? It turns into a Periscope. So, you know, that's where they're associated with now. So I guess everybody has their own live stream component. Twitter has Periscope. Facebook has Facebook Live. Instagram has Instagram Live. So, you know, YouTube has YouTube Live. So, I mean, I guess we're all getting acclimated to that thing. But yeah, as far as like the links and the click-throughs, if your audience wasn't already, you know, in that vein to do that, they're looking for that, that instant gratification. They're not really interested in going anywhere.
Right, right. Well, one thing I got to say for Be Live, which we're using and which I use for just about all my interviews, and actually going to be doing a show on Be Live
Yay.
Facebook page starting next week on Tuesday with Rachel Moore. It's called The Best of Be Live. We're going to highlight some of the best shows using the Be Live platform. So do join us. That's Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But one of the things that's great is I usually won't have a guest come on with a mobile phone for an interview, right? And I got to say, you're just on a mobile phone, and the connection is awesome. The sound is terrific. In some ways, it breaks up less than even the desktop connection was. So, I mean, that's one thing, whether it's Be Live, whether it's our mobile service, whatever it is, that's one thing that they're doing that's really working well is that you're on from a mobile, and it's not like, oh my God, I wish he wasn't on a mobile, right? Like, because that's what happened if somebody came on mobile on Blab or
it was horrible.
It was a nightmare. And even it wasn't that good, like when people tried to use Facebook Live the first time, where they had the ability to have two people on, right? Now it's better, right? Now the connection's pretty good. And Doug Cohen's here.
Yay,
hey, Doug.
Doug.
Frameable faces.
Yes.
And Carla Jenkins says, I do think the Go Live hashtag is prioritized to go live on both Twitter and Periscope. That's right. I wonder, do you think they're eventually gonna merge the two, or do you think they're gonna keep Periscope separate?
Well, they kind of have merged the two in a way, because now they have Twitter Live, and all Twitter Live does is turn into a Periscope. Right.
You just don't get if you're watching on Twitter, it's not the same as watching in Periscope, where you can do more, you can comment more and do different things. But the quality is always good on Periscope, though. That's one thing you got to give Periscope. When people do a live stream, that particularly if they use like Periscope Producer or whatever.
Oh, awesome. I love Periscope Producer.
It's incredible, the quality. That and YouTube's really high quality too. If you stream to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Do you use do you go live from mobile more on YouTube or from desktop?
Actually, I've been going live on mobile more. Mm-hmm.
And how do you find that going live on mobile to YouTube versus like doing it to Facebook?
Oh my goodness, it's like butter.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. It's like butter. You put the phone there, and of course I have the ring light, the 18 diameter. So I'll just put it in the center of there, just stand there and just go. And, the comments pop up. The only thing I don't like about the live is that the live stream pop-ups don't stay. Whereas that, the comments after you are live stay. That's
right. So you don't get to keep those comments then?
No.
Mm-hmm. And unless you put those comments like, you use some app where you put them on the screen, you know how some people do that? That's the only way people who watch the replay can see the comments from the original show, right?
Right.
Because they don't replay while you're watching. Like Facebook, you can actually watch the comments in real time going back. And even though there's a lot of things you can complain about with Facebook comments at times, that is one cool feature that you can see the comments in real time if you want to watch them that way. Well, this has been fun. We were talking about a half an hour. We've been on almost an hour. Tell everybody again, there's a lot of people just joining us. Tell everybody about your book and also the new project that you're doing.
Well, of course, for those who do not know me, I am Dr. Aikyna Finch. I do education, motivation, and social media. I am outside because apparently I was kicked out by the fire alarm. So excuse me for that. But we basically what I do is we have scope masterminds. So if you are a person who is having an issue or know a person who's having an issue live streaming for the first time, need that support, need that backup, they can come on and do a 5-minute Periscope with us. They get a topic and they are able to just push the button. We are there to support them 5 minutes and then they're done. That is always a good thing. And then as far as the book, it's Motivation Ignited, 10 Ways to Set Your Self-Motivation on Fire. You know, if you are stuck in a rut, or you getting a little complacent nowadays, or you just looking for that piece of passion that is going to take you to the next level, that book will help you because it's got a little journal in it, and it has a little blueprint in there to help you move along the way. And then, of course, you can find me on all social media handles, including YouTube, at DRAD Finch.
And it's AikynaFinch.com is the website. You can also learn more about her there and get links to social media there as well. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been fun. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you haven't shared it out yet, please do share this out. Let people know that we went on with an unscheduled show, and it seemed to come off just fine. And if you did share it out, there's no harm in sharing it out. Again, we love that. So thanks, everybody. We really do appreciate all the great ideas and comments in the chat. And do come back. Join us Thursday night. I will have Michael Lucy on to talk all about Facebook ads at 7 p.m. Eastern on Livestream Universe Facebook page. Have a great night, everybody.
Night.